chromosome responsible for determining the male sex in humans.
Coded the first complete sequence of a human Y chromosome.
So we all have been seeing this news all over the internet that the chromosome Y is disappearing. Is it true? The same tiny piece of DNA that determines if you're male or female is facing extinction. But what does this mean for men? Will males eventually vanish too? Let's dive into this mind-boggling mystery. To understand why the Y chromosome is disappearing, we first need to know what it actually is. The Y chromosome, found only in males, pairs with the X chromosome to determine biological sex. If you have two X chromosomes, you're female. If you have one X and one Y, you're male. Simple, right? But here's the twist. The Y chromosome is way smaller than the X chromosome. In fact, it has lost over 90% of its genes over millions of years. While the X chromosome holds about 1,000 to 1,500 genes, the Y chromosome is left with just around 50 to 200. So why is the Y losing genes so fast, and how much time does it have left? Let's rewind about 200 to 300 million years, when the Y chromosome was much larger and had just as many genes as the X chromosome. Over time, something called genetic decay started to take its toll. The Y chromosome stopped recombining with its partner, the X chromosome, meaning it couldn't repair its damaged DNA like the other chromosomes do. This led to the slow and steady loss of genes. But why does the Y chromosome seem doomed? Unlike most chromosomes which swap genetic material to fix errors, the Y chromosome has a problem. It can't recombine with the X chromosome. This lack of gene swapping makes it much more vulnerable to mutations, which is why it keeps shrinking. Another reason is that most of the Y chromosome's genes are no longer essential for survival, except for one critical gene, the SRY gene, which triggers male development. Without this gene, the Y chromosome wouldn't be able to create males at all. But the big question remains, what happens if the Y chromosome disappears completely? So, if the Y chromosome is losing its genes at this rate, does that mean men will disappear? Well, not exactly. It turns out that even though the Y chromosome is shrinking, it still holds on to the SRY gene, which is essential for producing males. And while scientists predict the Y could disappear in a million years, that doesn't necessarily mean men will vanish with it. In some species, like certain rodents, the Y chromosome has already disappeared, but males still exist. How? In certain rodents, such as rats, where the Y chromosome has disappeared, other genes on different chromosomes step in to handle the job of determining sex. These genes take over the crucial functions that the Y chromosome used to do. This gene-swapping process is how these animals have evolved to survive without the Y chromosome. And as the Y chromosome continues to shrink in humans, it's possible that one day other chromosomes might step in to take over its role. And here comes the most asked question. Can the Y chromosome be saved? Interestingly, not all scientists agree that the Y chromosome is destined for extinction. Some believe it's stabilized and may not shrink much more. There's also research into how the Y chromosome has developed unique structures to protect its remaining genes. This might help it stick around longer than we think. But even if the Y chromosome disappears, scientists predict that human biology will find a workaround, ensuring that males can still be born. So, what does the future hold for the Y chromosome? Will it continue to shrink until it vanishes, or will it find ways to survive? One thing's for sure, the Y chromosome story is far from over. Whether it stays or goes, human evolution will continue to adapt. But for now, the Y chromosome remains a fascinating reminder of how much our genetics have changed over time and will keep changing. What do you think? Will the Y chromosome disappear? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.